All right. Good day to everyone. Okay. I'm sorry to keep on asking this. I need to know that if you can hear me. So if you can hear me, I would like you to send this shocking emoji. All right. Good. Thank you, Farah. I'm Mediana. We're Linda. Alia. All right. Good. All right. So morning, everyone. Welcome to week 5. Sekejap saja, we are now in week 5. Alright, okay, so this is our e-campus and I have uploaded tasks that you need to do, you need to finish up in the e-campus, sorry. Oh, okay. Alright, so again, this is the textbook. I hope that everyone have bought the textbook and it is 45 ringgit. Alright, okay, before I continue with anything else, I would like you to focus on. Okay, so in week 5, I have uploaded tasks that I need you to do in week 5. Okay, alright. Give me a moment, something is not right. That's one. Sorry guys, give me a moment. I'm trying to import a task in the eCampus for you to see. In the meanwhile, scan the QR code for attendance. Quick, quick. Okay, before I continue with what we're going to do this particular week, I would like you to focus on this. In week 4, I have uploaded a model test. This model test will be the model for the real quiz that we're going to do in week 6 next week. So next week we are going to have our reading comprehension quiz 1 in week 6, and this is 20%. So I need you to be able to practice a bit regarding this particular test so that you are familiar with the questions that will be asked. Right, so let's look at together model test 1, and I have uploaded this in the eCampus, so make sure that you go and practice that. Okay, so this is a preview, so I would like you to go and look at the quiz, and the time limit is 1 hour. So preview, start the time. It will be different because I'm a lecturer. It will be preview for me and it will be the real one for you. Okay, on the top right you will have your time left, that is 1 hour, and reading comprehension questions. Of course, there will be an article. So this is the article, and then there will be following questions regarding the article. So question one, this one will be the multiple choice questions, and then we also have open-ended question where you will have a question like this. Why is secondhand smokers a concern for students? So you write your answers here, and then we have open-ended as well for question number 5, and then click next. We do have true and false as well, and then true and false, true and false, true and false, and then that's it. So remember, for this particular test, we're going to have multiple choices questions. We have our true false question. We have the open-ended question. So these are the types of question that will be asked. In the real test, there will be around 24 to 30 questions altogether. So I need you to familiarize yourself with the question. So once you have done everything, finish attempt and return to attempt and submit if it is the real one. Okay, so again, I would like to remind everyone, next week we are going to have our reading test, the first reading test, and this is the model test one, and I would like you to practice, to do this and practice. Okay, clear, everyone? If everything is clear, I would like you to send a thumb up. All right, good. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so this is week 5. We are going to look at inference and conclusion. And now I am going to present the slideshow. Give me a moment. Okay. All right. So this is, wow, we do have the, right. Okay, unit 4, making inferences and drawing conclusions. All right, okay, so welcome everyone to our textbook. So I hope that everyone have bought the textbook. So make sure that you have the textbook, because after this, we are not going to upload the tasks in eCampus anymore. You have to look at the textbook, answer, look at the questions in the textbook, and then submit your answers in the eCampus. All right, okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? If you can, sorry, I'm sorry that I keep on asking this, but I need to know before I begin, you can hear me clearly. Send me the shocking emoji if you can hear me clearly. All right. Okay. So this particular focus will go beyond literal meaning in text, interpret implied ideas using evidence and prior knowledge, and form reasoned judgment based on multiple pieces of information. All right. Okay. So inference. What is making inference? So an inference is an educated guess. So basically, an inference is when you guess on something, but it's not just any particular guesses. It's a guess, an educated guess based on observation, specific evidence from the text, assume or background knowledge. So put in mind that what I'm talking about is the thing that you're going to use and you're going to practice when you do reading comprehension. Readers combine textual clues with prior knowledge to understand meanings that are not directly stated. So, meaning when we read something, we not just get the information based on what we read, but we get more from what is written. All right, steps to making an inference: we need to identify the explicit details, focus on descriptions, actions, and dialogue. Use prior knowledge and apply relevant background knowledge or experience. So when you read something, of course, it will be related to something that you have done before. Okay, so you have to identify the patterns. Look for repeated ideas or implicit meanings, because sometimes writers will write something repeatedly to get the message across. And finally, test the inference. Check whether it fits the available evidence. So make sure that your inference is related, is correct. Check your inference. Do not just make a guess, which is an educated guess, and then just accept it. Okay, and then we have tips for student when it comes to making inference is to always look for textual evidence. Avoid guessing without support. So make sure that you have something to refer to. So ask, what does the text suggest not stated? Ensure your inference is logical and reasonable. Okay, so read that. I'll give you a few seconds to read that. Okay, the number of individuals visiting the clinic significantly increased during the winter month. Many patients arrive wearing thick coats and scarves, coughing as they entered. What can you about the increase in clinic visits during the winter month? Okay, I know that winter is not something that we experience here in Malaysia, but based on our prior knowledge, the movies that we have watched, the documentaries that we have watched, any articles that we have read before, we know that when it comes to winter, it is cold. And based on the situation, more people visit the clinic in winter. Patients wear thick coats and scarves, many are coughing. So these are the explicit details. Explicit meaning that clear details that is written. Use your prior knowledge. So winter brings cold weather and seasonal illnesses. People dress warmly to stay protected. Coughing is a common symptom of colds and flu. Okay, identify the patterns. More patients plus winter plus coughing equals to seasonal illnesses. So cold weather likely causes more people to get sick. So that is the pattern that we can see. So now we test the inference. The increase in clinic visits is likely due to winter illnesses, so such as colds and flu. This matches the details given and common knowledge about seasonal sickness. So what can you infer about the increase in clinic visit during the winter months? Is that the increase in clinic visits during winter is likely due to a rise in seasonal illnesses such as flu or colds. So meaning that basically we need to understand that winter equals to seasonal sickness. Okay, clear on that? So basically, inference is just an educated guess, a guess that is made based on information that we have read. Now, what about conclusion? Now, let's move to conclusion. Conclusion is a reasoned judgment form after considering multiple pieces of information, understanding the overall meaning of a text. Unlike an inference, a conclusion is broader. It reflects the entire text, not just a single. When it comes to conclusion, it is something that is about the passage, about the whole article, not just one specific part of it or one specific paragraph of it. No, it will be about the whole passage. It will be broader, wider, more general. Okay, steps to drawing a conclusion is to gather relevant evidence, to identify key points across the text, make logical connections, try to link ideas and supporting details between the passages, and consider the author's purpose and tone as well. And finally, ensure the conclusion is fact based. Avoid unsupported assumptions. So, conclusion, I know that it's a wider, more general, but make sure that it is still fact based. So, tips for you: consider the whole text, not isolated details. Make sure that you read everything to make a conclusion of something, not part of it. So look for cause and effect relationships. Ensure your conclusion aligns with text main ideas. So you need to understand that conclusion will be based on the main ideas. So when you write, you need to check what is the main idea of this particular passage and what is the main idea of each and every single paragraph in it. And based on those main ideas, you will figure out what is the conclusion. So avoid personal opinions not supported by evidence. So opinion is not a conclusion. For example, the global demand for seafood has increased, leading to higher levels of fishing. As a result, many coastal communities now rely heavily on fish exports, while concerns about overfishing have grown among environmental organizations. What conclusion can be drawn about the impact of rising global seafood demand? Okay, let's look at the details. We have the fact-based conclusion. We have the relevant evidence. We have the rise in seafood demand has helped coastal communities economically, but but has also raised concerns about overfishing. This conclusion is based on the evidence provided and does not rely on assumptions. Global seafood demand has increased. That is one. Higher levels of fishing have resulted from this demand. Coastal communities now depend on fish exports. Environmental organizations are concerned about overfishing. So the details are here. Increased seafood demand equals to more fishing activities. More fishing equals to economic benefit. Increased fishing, but the negative part is that overfishing concern. The author presents both economic benefit, which is for the coastal communities, and environmental concern for the overfishing. So the tone is informative, highlighting both positive and negative effects. So what conclusion can be drawn from this particular information? The rise in seafood demand has led to economic benefits for coastal communities, but has also raised environmental concerns over fishing. So that is the conclusion. Okay, so when you look at something, try to make a conclusion based on what you can see and try to understand everything about that particular text that you are seeing. Okay, so for the practice time, practice one, practice two, practice three. Okay, let me get back to the campus. Okay, Jelly 33. Okay, practice one, practice two, practice three. Okay, so up till week 5, we still have the practice 1, 2, 3 in the e-campus. But after this, practices will be in the textbook. So make sure that you have bought the textbook for you to do the practices. So for now, I'm going to only have the lecture here, but the practices will be in the textbook. Right, so that is all about inferences and drawing conclusion, making inferences and drawing conclusion. So this is unit 4 in our textbook. And remember, I would like to remind everyone again that we are going to have our, where was it? Week 4. Our reading comprehension quiz 1 in week 6 next week. That is 20%. So make sure that you do not miss that out. Okay, so thank you everyone as always.